Each week at the beginning of our worship service, we light a flaming chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism, a symbol of welcome, and historically a symbol of resistance. We will light it this morning with words from Gretchen Haley, who writes a call to worship for Mother's Day 2022. Behind every angry impulse to turn over tables and swing the bat hard, crashing the car glass, or at least comment repeatedly in all caps, there is a heartbreak, the unseen softness of longing to be known and loved, to be given a voice and a choice, to feel a part of something greater without losing yourself. Into this circle, and this time, bring it all, every untamed fear and every embrace, every unfiltered fear and every mission of courage and love held deep in your chest, every hope for our children and the world we want to give to them, and the grief at the gap. Bring your joy at spring's abundance and your gratitude for rain, a lot of rain, and remembering the movement of partners living and dead who journey with us and call us to keep going, keep loving, keep waiting, keep wanting more life. Come, let us worship together. So welcome to the Unitarian Church of Lincoln on this Sunday morning. My name is the Reverend Oscar Sinclair. I'm joined on the chancel by our worship associate, Michael Reinmiller, and over the course of this morning by variety of folks from this pulpit that we'll introduce as we go. Over the last few years, the way we have gathered together has often changed. But whether in person, on Zoom, on a YouTube live stream camera, or some way of being together we cannot yet imagine, each time we gather is a time to be in community with each other, to do the thing that we say that we are about, to be a loving community, transforming ourselves and the world, uniting reason with spiritual exploration to transform ourselves and the world. That's what we're doing. That's what we'll do today in the worship service. That's what we will do in the town hall immediately following the worship service that you will all stay for. No, we are locking the doors. We're not even doing coffee. Like, we're going straight from one to the other. Anyway, we'll talk about that at exactly 11 o'clock. So welcome to this loving community. It is good to have you here. May we, in our gathering, be about the work of transforming ourselves and the world. Our opening hymn is number 1000 in the Teal hymnal. The words will be above me. If you would please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing, Morning Has Come.
If anyone would like to come forward for the story so you can see the pictures better, you're welcome to do so now. I say those who are young or young at heart. I know, you're bridging out, yeah. Our story today is called The Knowing Book by Rebecca Kai Dotlich. Before you forget, look up. The sky has always been above you, is above you now, and will always be above you. Count on it. It is what you will always know. The clouds may come. The sunshine may be stronger some days than on others. And when it does shine, let the warmth set on your shoulders and set fire to your spirit. Open a door. Follow a trail or a sidewalk or a sign. Any one of them will take you somewhere. You will choose. Step one step at a time. And don't ignore a hum and don't ignore a cry. Both are useful and both are good and both will comfort you if you are lost. Know this. There is magic around you, but it hides. You might find it nestled in a wand or a spell, but more likely in a penny or a prayer. Be open to it. Sit down on a step or a hill or at the edge of a sea. Take time to imagine something or let something imagine you. The unknown is waiting. Carry a map as a guide, but explore those trails not drawn on paper. This is called curiosity, and this is called adventure. Keep them in your pocket. Run often and fast toward or away from something. Trust yourself to know which. And trust yourself to know when, but the chanting clocks that hang on walls of dreams. This is called wise, and this is called brave. Pretend you are someone, and pretend you're no one. Pretend you are who you long to be, who you would never want to be, and who you can only imagine being. Know that you will be parts of all of these. Don't be too busy to slosh in a puddle, or fly a kite, or too important to pick up the lost coin or the common shell. These small things are coveted by giants. When you blow a whistle or a bubble or a horn, it is followed by an echo or a pop or a song. Listen, for this is the ballad of your own breathing. The sky holds a wing, a hoot, a chill. Allow the breeze of each to slip through the cracks of your window and into your sleep. And before you forget, look up. The stars have always been above you, are above you now, and will always be above you. You will come upon delicious and dark things, but all paths you will take will lead you home. Count on it. It is what you will always know. And that is the end of our story. Please join in singing one more step as the children head back to their classroom.
And if you would, rise in body or in spirit.
One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for
try and do some joys and sorrows off of the internet here as well, so I'm multitasking. Welcome, everyone. I miss all of you. I'm short. Height impaired. In a time of divisiveness, we have so much that we can disagree on, but there's something we can all agree on. We all have amazing joys in our lives, and I'm wondering if we can share your joy with us right now. Just, what do you got? I need it from you.
Watching Ailish and Jack run like maniacs down the
Yeah, if you didn't see it, you heard it.
My sister is settled in her new home.
New homes, yes.
Lincoln High Joy Night.
Oh, yes. Was it spectacular? I bet. Joy night. I should probably be repeating these, sorry.
Finishing the hardest semester of my life at Doane.
Hard semester, yes.
My daughter Robin graduated medical school.
Congratulations. Wow. Medical school graduation. That's a joy. Let me check the internet. The internet is joyless. Who knew? Either that or it's not refreshing. I hope the internet finds some joy. So now some sorrows. Pardon? Don. Dana.
Birth mother's having a hard time today.
Birth mother having a hard time.
A lot of women in fear.
And men, yes, but yes, women in fear. A joy that came in says, we have rain. A sorrow is Alice and Noreen. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. Oh, someone wrote, hearing your voice is a joy today. Clearly not Melanie. So let's take a moment and think of all those goods and bads and share them together, please.
Will you join me in a spirit of prayer or meditation? God of many names and understandings, we lift up this complicated day. A day of celebration and remembering those who loved us into being. A day of incompleteness for loving that we did not receive. A day of grief for those no longer with us. A day of carnations and hand-painted crafts and macaroni cards that somehow recognize the enormity of the task of nurturing new life but cannot fully comprehend it. And it is especially poignant today, this year, as somebody mentioned, in a week where Roe versus Wade has been in the news. And so we pray for compassion for ourselves and each other, and for courage for whatever life leads us. Amen. Our next hymn is number 123, Spirit of Life. We'll remain sitting for this one.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart of the stirrings of compassion. Oh, ye rise in the sea, move in the air, giving life the shape of justice. Whose fiery wings set me free. Spirit of love, come to me, come to me.
It is time for me to beg for money. That's what keeps this place afloat, and it's turbulent waters on this boat right now. So if you are able to help with the offering, it is much appreciated to help with the mission of this church. If you're not here, you can text it to UC Lincoln and the amount to 73256. Thank you.
So this morning we are marking the Unitarian Universalist bridging ceremony. We do this once a year. Usually it's in June, but we moved it to May to fit within the school year this time. But the bridging ceremony is a rite of passage in Unitarian Universalism where we celebrate our youth who are transitioning out of their youthhood. It's a marker of when you become an adult in the eyes of the congregation, right? You move from youth to young adulthood, bridge over those two. Today we are honoring some amazing youth who are making this transition. And they're going to speak, so I'm not going to be up here very long. We honor them in a few ways. First, by hearing what they have to say. Unitarian Universalism says that we encourage each other to spiritual growth in our congregations. And one of the first ways that we do that is by listening to each other. And second, by giving them a rose. Because a rose is a marker of the home that they have had here with us. We present newborn children with a rose when we do child dedications. When we have new member ceremonies, we present you with a rose. And so we'll do that again today. And so to our youth that we are honoring today, we hope that you will remember that you have a home here, and that those folks who have loved you into being, mothers, parents, families, friends, church members, all have helped bring you to this moment. But there is a difference between the rose that we are giving you now and the one that we give at child dedications. Because at child dedications, we take the thorns off the rose. Now, one might say that this is so the infants don't poke their eyes out or poke their parents' eyes out in the midst of the ceremony, and that's true, but it is also a reminder for those getting a rose today that life is thorny, that this is not an easy path. Unitarian Universalism is not an easy faith. The world that you are entering into as adults, or young adults, is not an easy world. We spoke of courage in that prayer. There has never been a moment that needs more courage than this moment that we are entering into, that we have been in for years and we will be in for another couple years. So this is your charge as you bridge now. It is to be courageous, to own this faith that we have brought you up in, and go forth and do things, and then come home and tell us what you've done. But less words from me. 3 of our youth have written brief reflections to share this morning. So we'll start with Augie Martin Lynn. It has been a pleasure to get to know Augie the last couple of years. Every time I go out to Kearney, I have great conversations with them, and welcome.
Well, I have a bet with one of my teachers for my commencement speech that I will cry 3 minutes into it. So we'll see if this is practice. So, as Reverend Sinclair said, my name is Augie Lane, and my first memory of the Unitarian Church of Lincoln is sitting right up there while Chelsea read a story, and then I did it for probably the last time today and almost cried. We were tiny, brilliant little people ready to grow up in what we were about to realize was a safe and loving home. These stories captivated me as a youth and are fond memories for me as an almost adult. Without the UUs, I couldn't be who I am today. Understanding life lessons through RGL especially has been a wonderful thing for me looking back. Who could forget the Hunger Games day when the TV wouldn't work and so we had to act out the scenes? Having my mom and dad beside me through RGL was a blessing, and I'm proud to call them my parents. My mom used to let me help with the little kids when she would work with the kindergartners through second graders, and that has helped me develop the ideal of how I want the next generation of Unitarian Universalists to be raised, especially my own future hypothetical children. RGL also taught me it's okay to be who I am, and I am forever grateful for that. Singing with both the children's choir and the 1 hour choir is also a fond memory of mine. As we were singing today, I was thinking back on all those songs that I know from memory nearly, and thinking about the lyrics and how much meaning they have to me even now. Like, we're the colors of the rainbow, we're the stars up in the sky, no two of us are quite the same, and here's the reason why. We all have a purpose and a special place to serve, for it makes a world of differences, or it takes a world of differences to make a difference in our world. Lyrics like that, they've stuck with me to this day, and stop it, I will cry. And they will go with me for the rest of my life. But I have a joke for you guys, and a few of you have heard this one already, but why are Unitarian Universalists such bad singers? Because they're always looking ahead in the hymnal to see if they agree with it. The church taught me to forgive myself, to stand up for what is right, and to speak up when I know the answer. I've tried my best to live my life so far by the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism, and I will do so going forward. And I see them as fundamental to my life. Thinking of my friends, I treasure our time together, and I will value that for the rest of my life. Thank you to my teachers and instructors for being a solid foundation for me to build myself on. Thank you to Reverend Sinclair for being a leader in this community. Thank you to everyone in this congregation, because you make this place a home.
So I'll actually invite Harry Hafer to come up and introduce our next speaker.
I hope I don't cry. Very touching, very nice, thank you. My name is Harry Hafer, been a member here a long time. Both my kids went through the coming of age program. In fact, I think my son was about the same time Chelsea went through it. No wonder I have gray hair. Huh. Anyway, over the years, I've watched a lot of youth and adults go through the coming of age program, and I've always thought, yeah, I think I might like to do that someday. And well, finally, Chelsea made contact with me last November and asked if I'd be interested in working with a young man, Tristan Stricker Slaughter. His dad had just joined the church just during COVID, wasn't it? Really, I think, yeah. So Jason, and he's in the choir before that too for several years. So it's great to have another alto to help me hit the right notes. But so the initial email address I have for Tristan, though, so it has something like unlimited gaming. And I'm thinking, oh boy, if this kid's into gaming, I don't know what conversations we'll have, how much we'll be able to talk about. Last time I'd played any games was like pinball, Pong, or Pac-Man in college. Well, I soon found out or discovered we wouldn't have any trouble in our conversations. In fact, during COVID, we had to meet on Zoom, of course. And when I first saw him on the computer, he reminded me of myself at his age in one particular aspect. He had long hair, just like I did back in 10th grade. I grew up in Boulder in the 60s, maybe. Anyway. Well, it turns out we had several other things in common. He likes to do lighting and build sets for the East High plays and the community playhouse, something I also did in junior high and high school. Not here in Boulder, but he also has an interest in photography, a hobby of mine I enjoy doing a lot. And I quickly discovered during our weekly conversations he's an extremely intelligent, insightful, thoughtful young man who already has a really good grasp on his beliefs. He had some inquisitive questions and reflective thoughts during our conversations, and as we read through the Unitarian Universalist Pocket Guide together. His classes at East High are nothing like what I took as a sophomore. American literature, cybersecurity, AP, world history, geosciences, advanced algebra, I think I did algebra 1 in 10th grade, and French. And to top that off, he's also learning on his own Greek, Latin, and Welsh. Kathy, you might help him out on the Welsh part. To top that off, he's going to a bioengineering camp in D.C. this summer. Let's see, my summer after 10th grade, never mind. I can't remember much of it anyway. But in our last conversation yesterday, I happened to ask if LPS was still offering sophomores the opportunity to take the pre-SAT. And he said he'd taken it. And he's already received correspondence from over 70 colleges. No college reached out to me in 10th grade, or 11th, or 12th for that matter. He's also played guitar for 6 years, and maybe someday he'll play here. He's kind of mentioned that. Bob, you might check him out for the A Street Band. I think a good addition maybe. So Tristan, I'd like to present you a small gift I made. Hope it's something that you'll like in the future. Don't use a real candle. Might catch on fire. Anyway, it's all yours. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Harry, for that introduction. I will state beforehand that public speaking does not come naturally for me, so just stay with me here. Even though it doesn't come naturally to me, I chose this over recording a video of my speech because for me it's more personal and more thoughtful. It tries to truly hold a connection between you and me. That is what the coming of age program does, at least in my experience and therefore in my opinion. It aids in expanding your thought, but more than that, to help you understand your thoughts. I'm sure everyone anywhere can agree we don't fully understand how our brains think, how it's capable of making up its own rules and standards for itself, and everything around it remains a mystery to all. Maybe not on a science level, but certainly on the level it tethers itself to. I, more than anything else, want to tell you about the thoughts the program, and Harry, of course, helped inspire. I did a lot of reflection in this program. I thought back to my previous incursions with theology and religion. My father can certainly attest to having to drag me to Christian churches, as I didn't believe in God, and I still don't. We finally left because my dad saw how I absolutely hated it, and we found the UU church when my mom remembered about attending this church in her college days. We visited, my dad and I, for the first time, and it's become our church, our safe space. Looking back, I believe being forced to be Christian caused a satirical thinking of Christians and Catholics to an almost not great extent. It took a very long time to arrive to my current mindset of that. I don't believe in God. Some people do, and that's okay. This mindset doesn't always come first in some situations, but I'm working hard to have it become reflex. However, this effort became more difficult with some recent events. I started to greatly dislike, maybe even building up to hatred of Christians and Catholics. I've countered this by constantly reminding myself that not all Christians and Catholics are bad. Maybe some of them have caused violence and an uproar of stupidity, but not all are hypocrites, not all are like that. Most are truly good people. I often look to my grandma and grandpa Slaughter, as well as my father, to help remind me of that fact. Still, in speaking with Harry, I did think of the nation we live in today, of how I'm watching the quarreling of both sides of the aisle and both sides of belief reaching ahead, a crescendo towards what I believe is a breaking point. I watch patience being strained to the absolute limit, feelings being tested everywhere. I worry about our nation and the world. I simply just want to see peace made by two from finding similarities instead of differences. One side is cynical, one side is feeling their hope decline, and both hate. I don't know which side is which anymore. But if this program helps someone like me, where I started out as cynical, having lost all hope, and feeling hateful, I believe that others like this can be helped the same way to help create a better world for the future. Thank you.
Our last speaker is AJ Malley.
Hello. How's everyone doing today? Okay, I'm doing okay. Normally I wouldn't wake up this early, but I wanted to get here today. And I did it. I'm proud of myself. So, in true 18-year-old fashion, I don't have everything exactly written out. I do have like a list of things I want to talk about though. So, bear with me if I stumble around a little bit. So, I've been here since I was like a little itty bitty baby, and it's amazing thinking about how now I'm 18 and I basically grew up here along all my peers and everyone here. So I think being here has really helped me create the person I am, and I'd just like to thank everyone for being a part of that. Whether you taught a class or helped in preschool care or taught an OWL class or even just like waved and said hello, it's made a big impact on me and how I think about the world. What I remember most being here in my childhood is being very excited each week to go to the preschool care and talk to the people helping there and draw like a masterpiece every day, which, yeah, I think those belong in a museum, actually. And I remember singing in the choirs, which really brought my love of music into the world. And I remember being very excited about YAA, Youth in Action, ever since I learned it existed. And I jumped into it as soon as I could. And I like to think that's helped me make a little bit more of a difference that I've felt. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Being here, I think, like I've mentioned, has helped me see the world how I do. And I think what I believe is just trying to make someone smile or laugh at least once a day is probably what makes the world go round, because I think there's just so much love in the world, and maybe that sounds cliche, but it's what makes me smile. It's what I believe, and I try to put a little bit of that out there every day, and I think it's because every time I came here, someone was making me smile, whether it was just like a stupid joke they told me that made me giggle, or like teaching a whole class that made me think something new. So I try to put that back into the world. So thank you everyone who's helped me become that person. And I think what I'm most proud of doing here is being in Youth in Action, and like hosting the YAA talent show, which I think we only did twice or 3 times maybe. I can't remember because of COVID, but planning that really felt like I was giving something back, which was important to me because everyone here has given me so much. So I hope that brought a little bit of joy to the congregation, and it helped me feel a part of the community here. And it was just a great time, and it helped me learn how to work together and how to put how I feel about everything into the world, because it was a really fun time. And I think just smiling every day and making someone else try to smile will make the world go round a little bit more. So thank you everyone for teaching me that.
Thanks to all of you. AJ, I was just talking to your dad last night about how I think you were in 1st grade when I first came to the church in this position to work. Yeah, so to see you go from 1st grade to graduating is really amazing. And Augie, your parents have reached out to me throughout the years to ask how they can incorporate Unitarian Universalism at home in Kearney, and getting back to me about borrowing curriculum and so forth. And every time that you would come to church, you just had great enthusiasm, and it's been wonderful to have you back whenever we can get you. We've been happy to have you here. And Tristan, you came into my office with great enthusiasm also. Like the first or second time I ever met you, you were asking like, how can I get involved? And can I do this thing and the other thing? And I'm like, wait, you got it. Like, let's not burn you out right away. We do that too often with our adult volunteers. We got to get our youth in slowly, but I'm so grateful that you've been wanting to jump right in. So thanks to all of you. If we could please join in a responsive reading. These words are from religious educator Karen McCarthy, And when I pause, I invite the congregation to respond with the words, "May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free." During your childhood and youth, we provided you with religious education programs and guided you in finding your own spiritual path. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. Many of us hope that your path will keep you in Unitarian Universalism, and we honor your ongoing search for truth and meaning as it leads you ever more to understanding, compassion, and justice. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. We have treasured your voice in our sanctuary and in our halls when you sang, when you laughed, and when you cried. When you questioned. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. We hope you will return to us often so we can hear your voice again and so we can remind you of how much we cherish you. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. We have tried to give you the gift of a place to belong, a place of warmth and caring and challenge and growth. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. We hope that you will find more places to belong as you travel far on your many adventures, and we hope that you know that you always, always have a home here. May your roots hold you close and your wings set you free. So at this time, I would like to invite up the parents or guardians or immediate family members of our bridging youth. I'd also like to invite up any former teachers or assistants who have taught these youth in the past, as you will be the ones to see our youth pass over our bridge. So parents, guardians, family members, teachers, if you could come behind me here. Come on up and just form a line. I didn't prepare you, you're doing this in front of everyone, did I? Sorry. Whoever would like to hold it. All right. And then I'd like to invite up any young adults or leadership of the congregation, those on the board, program council, or in any other leadership roles, such as committee chairs, who will welcome our youth on the other side and will meet them with a tea light, the candle they will carry with them, the spark of Unitarian Universalism and warmth of this church community with you wherever you go. Or Julie, perhaps? And so our bridging youth, who we have now locked in on the other side. We needed Judy Hart to stage this before. All right, bridging youth, come on this side.
Oh, sorry, I blocked it. Yeah, no, it's not.
And Michael Reinmiller, could you grab those gifts behind you? And would you, oh, can't keep them. And if you would please pass one to each as they come on the way. We are giving gifts to our seniors as well. Tristan, who graduated from the Coming of Age program, and AJ and Augie, you will all receive a journal so that you can continue writing your thoughts as you go on your adventures. And you've each picked a chalice item of your choice, and Harry, as mentor, will be receiving an item as well. So we are going to sing our next hymn. And as we sing, Go Lift It Up, which words will be appearing here. as we sing, they will bridge across, and so you'll just pass in front of these beautiful people and then go to this side where you will receive your tea light and your gift. So let us join in singing. You can remain seated. Bill, if you would, please.
Go lifted up, love us your way. Moonlight, starlight, guide your journey into peace and the brightness of day.
A Blessing for Bridging, words by Maureen Killeran. As you step forward into your next chapter, we send with you our fondest hopes and blessings. May life bring enough challenge to fuel your dreams, enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and nurture to give your spirit peace. Believe in your vision, follow your dreams, and know always that when you return to us, here you will find the hands of friends. As the next music plays, you're welcome to go have a seat. Thank you, everyone.
So that concludes the worship service this morning. So go in peace, but don't go far. Because at 11 o'clock, which is in 5 minutes, we will start the first of our 2 spring town halls leading up to the congregational meeting on the 22nd. If you are not interested in that, flee, flee. You have 5 minutes to get out of the room. For those on the live stream, this part's important. We're going to live stream the town hall, but it will be on a different link on our YouTube channel. So this video will end, and there'll be a separate video for the town hall. I am 90% sure that that link is also in your e-blast. If it's not, if you just go to our YouTube channel, it'll be there. So you will need to click over to the new meeting. For everybody here, you have 4 minutes now to stretch your legs or use the facilities, and we'll get started.